All right, so today we are going to talk about our 3 articles about disinformation. And we will start with the first group, and they'll tell you which article they did and the main points and information that we can use from it for your essay.
Is it already going? Okay. So we did our article on the bots and things like that. So basically, they do a lot of political ads or social media posts, and a lot of it is like the fake news and doctored videos that they'll post out. And the research says that false claims spread a lot more easily than accurate ones. So misleading or incorrect stories actually travel 6 times faster. So that's why so much false news gets around. And in September and October 2006, 1 out of 5 election related tweets were sent out by a bot. So that's how many fake posts there were at that time anyway. 2016. Did I say 2006? Okay. And most of the bots are harmless and they just tweet out random stuff or poems or pictures of pets or stuff like that. But a lot of them are up to no good and they resemble actual users and they try to like impersonate people. And bots can post hundreds of times per day, so that's a good way to see if it's a bot or not.
You didn't mention cyborgs, so I will mention them real quick. It's like a bot account that occasionally a human takes over to make it look real. So, yeah. So this article is about the Spot the Troll game from Clemson, the 2 Clemson researchers who were talking about catching people, bots and cyborgs and trolls online. So I'll let that group talk about it.
Okay, so basically, these professors from Clemson did a study on trolls. So, my bad. So they spread a lot of disinformation, and their main goal is to like divide America on like the political views and stuff like that. Most of the trolls were, when they did the study, were from Russia. They even found a troll farm the Russians had set up, but they're finding more and more from other countries, even from the United States. They found one in China, but like China targets more of the Chinese problems, like not American problems. Like in September 2018, a tweet from Polite Melanie was named Tweet of the Week by the Chicago Tribune. Had more than 125,000 retweets and likes. But the following March, it was revealed that this account was a troll account. So like, a lot of people don't know if it's an actual troll account, and now it's spreading disinformation, I guess. So, yeah. Well, yeah.
I like that you mentioned that this is a international sort of thing, right? This is not just one country, not just foreign countries. Like anybody is capable of spreading disinformation. Most of the time, disinformation is just basically so that that country can focus on its own interests. Yes, and you have places where they very much tightly control the information coming out of their country. right? So instead of just combating, you know, things with real information or with facts or whatever, they muddy the waters instead. It's a different tactic, um, which is why the U.S. has become much more concerned about cybersecurity in the last 10 years or so, right? That there is a genuine possibility of having terrorist attacks online, cyber terrorism. So, this last article is the article that's about kind of the origins of disinformation, right? So it gives a historical perspective, and I'll let this group speak on that.
All right. Disinformation derived from the French-sounding word disinformation. Yeah, Asia. It was first used by Joseph Stalin during World War II. In 1952, Greek-Soviet Encyclopedia defined disinformation as dissemination in the press, on the radio, and etc. of false reports intended to mislead public opinion. On July 17, 1983, a small pro-Soviet newspaper called The Patriot published a front-page article titled "AIDS May Invade India," and then it said "Mystery Disease Caused by U.S. Experiments." Article then became a source for a 1985 story in a Soviet weekly newspaper with considerable influence, which then was used on a front-page British tabloid in 1986, then picked up by an international newswire. In April 1987, the story had appeared in major newspapers in more than 50 countries. After the Cold War was over, the threat of AIDS became more widely understood, but the idea that the disease was man-made still preserved around the world. In 2005, a study proved that 50% of African Americans believe that HIV, the virus causing AIDS, was man-made. Journalists are recruited to become agents of influence and to influence public opinion. In 2009 issue of Studies in Intelligence, a journal published by the CIA, historian Thomas Bogart noted that theories about the U.S. government creating AIDS predated any KGB manipulation. In the end, Bogart noted, even in the perhaps less chaotic pre-internet media world, the Soviets ultimately had little control over a rumor that helped spread, or they'd help spread. Once the AIDS conspiracy theory was lodged in the global subconscious, it became a pandemic in its own right.
So disinformation is like 6 times as viral as like real information, is what we learned today as well. Next week, some of the things we're going to be talking about are disinformation versus satire. Like we're going to spend a little bit of time looking at satire and how people recognize it or don't recognize it. And I'll have some stuff for that. But for the end of today, I have something a little bit fun for us to kind of end out the week on something a little bit light. Yes, yes. So this game that I'm pulling up is called Factitious. So it literally asks you to spot fake news and lets you see if you can or not. So it gives you an article, it gives you the source, etc. Now, I want to draw attention to this little button in the corner because if stuff doesn't pop up on Schoology, you need to click out. Plus, it's better to do that anyway. So there's a college level one, there's a pandemic edition, there's other ones. This is from the media literacy organization. That's like the National Media Literacy, etc. I would encourage you, I'd love to see you go ahead and attempt. something from factitious. So you swipe right if you think the article is real, swipe left if you think the article is fake. I'm not actually going to play it because I'm going to let you check it out. I wouldn't say you would have to read the whole thing, just, kind of skim and like look and see what you think. I will give 2 extra credit points to the person with the highest score. Don't cheat, but yeah. So we will continue next week with disinformation and satire, and hopefully it'll be a good time.